Red team, go! Amp unit, wake up, get up, and amp up! For the positivity police out there that claim BC amplified is too negative, I overanalyze, dissect, critique too far. That I am part of the problem in the pro wrestling community. First and foremost, bullshit! The problem in the pro wrestling community is for years watching as the ratings dwindle away, asses stop showing up to the arenas, and interest falls to an all-time low. Yet acting like nothing is wrong with the product. That's what's wrong in the pro wrestling community. But instead of blaming non-existent storytelling, nauseating creativity, and bullshit booking, you blame BC Amplified. And you don't place blame where it should be, on the damn old man in Stanford, on that damn company. Yet you still tune in every vid and every podcast because you know that I know what I'm talking about. You know I'm speaking that truth, and you know I'm wildly entertaining. And I got you. I realize it's hard to fathom that good old BC Amplified is more entertaining than 99.99% of what you see on WWE television. But ain't that the damn truth? And I agree, that is a problem. But it ain't me. Place the blame where it should be. On that damn company. I don't want to be more entertaining than the damn wrestlers. I don't want to be, and I shouldn't be, more entertaining than the damn shows. But why do you think thousands of people tune into every vid and or podcast? It's because they're craving that knowledge, they're craving that type of truth, and they're craving that type of entertainment. 'Cause they ain't getting it anywhere else. Oh, but the day has come for the positivity police. Grab your Doritos and Frappuccinos, because I actually saw more positive than negative in last night's Smackdown show. That's right, those words just came out of my mouth. BC, it can't be. Blasphemy, BC. It can't be true, BC. More positive than negative? But BC, I heard from another podcast that the show wasn't good last night. I don't give a shit what any other podcaster said. Unless it came from BC Amplified's mouth, then it's just packed with 100% freshly squeezed bullshit. I am done through watching as this community makes asses out of themselves. Podcasters, YouTubers, that's right, on this very platform. Dropping the pants and beginning the sucking process on the company of their choosing. 'Cause that's all everybody's doing. These days you got the ones that are super ultra positive about everything that's happening in WWE. Surely for the sole purpose of trying to be employed by WWE. They want that in. Look, I'm talking all positive. I'm always nice to you guys. Everything you do is fucking gold. It's rainbows and chocolate chip cookies on a cold winter's day. Hire me! I love you guys! And they're creating a distorted vision of what is actually happening in that company. And on the flip side, you got the ones that just shit on everything. Everything. A little bit of positivity here and there, just to make it seem like they're not shitting over everything. And those motherfuckers are just catering to their viewership. They're trying to pull in those YouTube views. Get it? You don't think I fucking see what's happening with every fucking content creator, with every podcaster, everybody in the community? Everybody is dropping the pants and beginning the sucking process on the entity of their choosing. Whatever they believe is gonna get them to the top of that fucking ultra-lit rainbow, that's what they're gonna go with. And then, there was one, the amplified man. Calls it right down the middle, cause I ain't got a dog in the fight. I don't give a fuck if I'm in that company, and I don't care how many people watch the amplified man on this very platform. I always said, as long as I got 25 people watching, that's a classroom. Class is in session. Something tells me every vid, every podcast that I do, I got more than 25 people, so we're rocking and we're fucking rolling. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have this grand scheme or plan to get me to another level. I am the fucking top level. It begins and it ends with the amplified man. I am. Period. Roman Reigns standing in the middle of the ring like a badass dude, silent as Paul Heyman cuts another solid promo, a la Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman, exactly how Roman Reigns should be booked right now. And Jey Uso winning a fatal 4-way to go on to take on Roman Reigns at Cheesecake of Champions, and the entire community is crying. BC, it's not right. BC, it's not fair. BC, it makes no sense. Oh, it makes a lot of sense. Cheesecake of Champions is just a few weeks away. This is a filler match for Roman Reigns. He's obviously going to win this. So who do you want in that spot to take the L? The Fiend Bray Wyatt? No. You want Ali? Get a little 2-week push and then get annihilated at Cheesecake of Champions to Roman? No, you don't put Ali in there. You want Keith Lee coming over from Raw and taking an Elder Roman? Who do you want in spot? Jey Uso. You need something for him to come back to. This thing is just a few weeks away. We already had back-to-back pay-per-views just last week. SummerSlam and then Payback. And now you have another one in just a couple weeks. This thing is rushed. You need somebody in that position that can take the L and it's no harm, no foul, and you can elevate a storyline and a character. Roman Reigns. If you're gonna push a Roman heel turn, if you're really gonna make him a badass heel, you do it in a storyline where he's turning on his own family. It makes perfect sense. You only have a couple weeks to build the Cheesecake of Champions. He turns on his own cousin. He shows you what matters most to him now is that championship. Being and staying at the top. Not even family is going to come in between that. It makes perfect fucking sense. It's a filler match. This isn't supposed to be looked at as some fucking dynamic championship match that somebody is really gonna get over with Roman at. No! If you think that's what this was ever going to be, then you don't know what you're talking about. And then you have to listen to the amplified man, not just want to. Makes perfect fucking sense. I wouldn't want anybody else in that position to take the L. Nobody. I wouldn't want Matt Riddle in that position. I wouldn't want Big E in that position. Jey Uso, he's in a fucking tag team. No harm, no foul. And it'll be over. It'll be over in just a couple of weeks, guys, while everybody's crying. It's over in just a couple of weeks, and it'll build Roman more. Jey Uso loses nothing. He gets a little bit of shine. But no, nobody wants to see this anymore. Everybody just wants to watch, and they think it's the cool thing to do what BC's doing. Yeah, I want to shit on everything now. But you're not understanding. I'm not. You have to see the silver linings in everything. You have to look at it from a business standpoint. As much as I shit on WWE and the old man in Stanford, you have to remember when to call out and how to look for, how to know when something good is actually forming. When something is happening in front of us on our TV sets, that means more positive for the future. This will do wonders for the Roman character if it is done correctly. And with just a few weeks to Cheesecake of Champions, it's no harm, no foul for anybody. Relax. This is not something to cry. There's 100 million problems with this company. That's not one of them. The Fatal 4-Way, yeah, I can't stand schmaz matches. So we can begin with those problems. Jey Uso is what everybody's crying about. You claim you wanted a Roman heel turn. This is what everybody claimed, and all I'm hearing about is he still has the same music. He looks the same. I'm not on board. They aligned him with Paul fucking Heyman. They low-blowed the Fiend, and they're setting up something where Roman is going to obviously, diabolically turn on his own fucking family. But nobody wants to acknowledge any of this. We're gonna talk about how he's wearing a t-shirt. Why is his music the same? Nobody will be satisfied these days. Everybody watches just so they can go on their little Twitter machine and talk about all the bad shit. This is fucking stupid. And then they try to sound like they're smart. This is rushed. This didn't have the proper selling. Where's the electricity in this? I didn't feel it. Everybody's a fucking critic these days. Everybody thinks they can do what BC's doing. Watch a show and then give my opinion. I can do it. BC, look at me. I'm doing it. They don't even realize how fucking dumb they sound. Doing what I do ain't fucking easy because I just don't drop my opinion. I drop facts. I look at what's happening a mile ahead of time, 10 steps ahead of everybody, and that's hard to fucking do. I see what one little character or storyline or bad booking or good booking can do going forward for every entity involved. It's not easy to do. These days, everybody has a fucking Twitter machine, so everybody thinks they're a fucking critic. And the cool thing to do is shit on everything. So when you have positive, nobody even fucking knows it, or they just don't want to acknowledge it. That's the problem with the fucking community. Sasha Banks and Bayley. Where do I even fucking begin? With the fucking beauty that was within that. That was old school. You saw that in the fucking 80s, the 90s, man. You were at the edge of your seat. Your jaw was dropped like mine was last night. You were involved, and they gave it time to breathe. They let that thing breathe. The whole thing with the match with Nia and Baszler. The aftermath with Bayley turning on Sasha. Sasha getting loaded into the ambulance. All of that took longer than a half an hour. 1/4 of the show plus dedicated to that. And you know what I saw online last night? I felt this dragged a bit. I didn't like it. It dragged. Just a little too long. Some fucking schmuck. And you see the profile pin. He's a youngster, obviously. And he sees people in the community. And he thinks it's cool to shit on everything. So what he does is he takes to his Twitter machine, and even when something's really cool and he can't just enjoy it, right? Those are the rare moments where you literally, you can actually sit back and enjoy it, because what is happening on our TV screens is actually really cool. It's epic. It's a moment that's been years in the making. And these fans today can't even enjoy it because they feel they have to critique on social media. That's sad. That's fucking sad. And that's what I mean when you say BC's part of the problem. No, I'm trying to show everybody how to call it down the middle, how to know what an opinion is and what a fact is. I'm trying my ass off from day one when I started this channel to make wrestling fans smarter. The problem is there's so many dipshits in the community, a lot on this very fucking platform, they're sabotaging it all. And when you sabotage it all, you're gonna get fans like we see today. And they're gonna claim, you don't have time for bullshit. They're calling out the bullshit, right? They're gonna sound smart. They're gonna act like their standards are so damn high when they don't know what they're talking about. But I know what I'm talking about. And we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna talk about it right now. This is SmackDown's review, September 4th, 2020. What are you looking at? I'll snap your fucking neck right now. Come aboard the Amplified train. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. But you're going on it right now. Yeah. The Fod Man's got a lot of things to do today, this weekend, and here I am cutting a 16-minute cold open. I tell ya, man. We start the show with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Heyman cuts a great Heyman-esque promo, and Roman stands like a badass monument a la Brock Lesnar. I absolutely love this. This is exactly what needed to happen. We still need the layers to this Roman heel turn, right? I don't feel like it's reached full throttle yet, and I hope we get there. I hope he's not a tweener. So, to do that, you need little things, like him standing like Brock used to stand, and we used to hate that as Paul Heyman delivers that promo. We used to hate that. And here it is, Roman's in that role now, so you can hate that. I love it. And the Jey Uso thing, hopefully we'll add another layer where Roman even turns on him, his own family. These are layers that need to happen. At some point, he needs to tell the fan base that we can stick it and shove it up our ass. We weren't there for him before. He ain't needing us now. He needs to stick it to the fans, too. These are all layers that I hope to see in the coming weeks. This is a start. As he stands there as Paul Heyman, and he's got that mean mug, and everything that Heyman is saying. Reigns is there like a fucking monument, not denying any of it. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. That is what we need. But you go on social media, or you go to any of these little chat rooms, or you go to the dirt sheets in the comment section, and I'm sure you'll see people talking about music and his outfit. Nobody wants to talk about what we've been waiting for years. Roman is turning heel, and every week, every show, I should say, we're starting to see layers. Nobody gives a fight. Music! Keith Lee steps up to Randy Orton. Keith Lee defeats Randy Orton at the second biggest pay-per-view of the year in 7 minutes. Nobody wants to talk about that. No positive, no. What the hell happened to his music? His music overshadowed stepping up to Randy Orton and beating Randy Orton in 7 minutes at SummerSlam. His music is the headline. BC, music is important, man. Trust me, I know. Believe me. Part of Hulk Hogan's mystique and Macho Man and Warrior and all those 80s superstars, the music, Stone Cold and the Glass Shattering, The Rock, Undertaker, music is so important. I got you. But let's not act like Keith Lee's music was the fucking second coming of the man upstairs. Relax. Number two, it can't overshadow what he just did with Randy Orton at a time where Orton is one of the hottest superstars in the world. Any company. Orton is fucking at another level. And nobody was talking about that. They were talking about his music. Even when Keith Lee went on his social and Keith Lee said, "Don't worry guys, I'm working on it. I'm working on it." And Keith Lee had to say it's disheartening because everybody is focusing on the music and not what I just did. These are Keith Lee's words. Keith Lee's like, I don't want this to overshadow what I just did on my debut. We always talk about how people debut in a shitty way. We have this is the biggest debut you could think of for Keith Lee. And we're talking about music. I know how important it is. Keith Lee said he'll fix it. Eventually, hopefully, he'll get there. He's got to earn his spot first. McMahon's made his decision. We could talk about the music, voice our displeasure, but let's make sure the forefront is what Keith Lee just did. No, today's wrestling fan. Music! Outfits! Hats! You know, I have fun on that SummerSlam review. Talking about Roman's chiclets, I called it, right? Having some fun, obviously. And as much as that was a joke, and having fun and just entertaining, I honestly think it's coming to that with today's wrestling fan. I mean, literally. I think, like, if Roman has a 5-star match according to Melty Boy gets to decide how many stars a match is, okay. But Roman can have a 5-star match, an Iron Man 60-minute classic, and Roman's teeth won't be on par for somebody. The match was great, but damn, fucking chiclets, man, I was so distracted. The problem is it won't even be a joke or for entertainment purposes. People will absolutely be pissed off because of his fucking teeth. Or maybe his fucking hair wasn't long enough. I mean, that's what it's going to come to with today's wrestling fan. Every little thing they will find. Just like Keith Lee, man. This is what we've been waiting for Roman. It's going good. And you'd never know it because people will find every little thing. And it's just like, what are we talking about, man? Roman was just sitting there like Brock used to sit there as Paul Heyman is pumping up this dude. I mean, this is the best Roman we're going to see ever going forward, hopefully. If they continue to do this correctly. And with Jey Uso, I think this is on the right track. Nobody sees the vision. Nobody. BC, Matt Riddle took the L last night to Jey Uso. Relax, Riddle's going to be okay. If Riddle loses 2-3 more weeks in a row in shitty fashion, then I got you. Then I'm with you. The storyline here isn't Riddle getting pinned. The storyline was Jey Uso winning. That's what it should be. I agree, though. Corbin should have took the L. Absolutely. It's fucking Corbin. They wanted a definitive statement. They wanted Jey Uso actually beating somebody reputable. It was Matt Riddle. I hear you. I'm not going to shit on this until I see Riddle losing 2-3 more weeks in a row, which could happen. And then you're going to hear the amplified man get amplified in that way. But when you have more positive than good from it. So anyway, a continuation from the cold open. Just today's wrestling fan, just like begging for Roman to turn heel. And then he does. And he's next to Paul, and he's in the position that Brock used to be in, but it's Roman now. And you see the potential this has. And you see what's being talked about. And it's like, why? What are people watching the show for anymore? Like, I can't even make the joke about Roman's chiclets anymore because I honestly think people are going to take it so seriously. Like, they're going to start judging matches on, like, appearance and shit. I mean, that's what it's coming. I can't even joke about it anymore. Anyway, that first segment, I loved it. I really did. It was simple, so simplistic, and it was so effective. And I couldn't help but think, man, that was Brock's role. And now Roman is like, no, I'm the fucking man. I saw how Brock was treated around here. The money he got, the dates he got, the championships. I'm in that role now. And I don't care who fucking likes it or not. I loved it. Paul Heyman was on his game. Heavy Machinery defeated Miz and Morrison in the opening contest. This was an 8-minute match. It wasn't bad, but WWE has a nauseating ability to make us not care about their performers. Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison drives zero emotion out of me. Otis hits a caterpillar elbow followed by a second rope splash on the Miz for the W. Okie dokie, moving on. Right. I mean, I like The Miz. I like Morrison. I like Otis. I like Heavy Machinery as a team. I don't even want to see them separate, so I don't know what's happening with Otis and his cash-in. But Tucker and Otis, I like. I like all four of these dudes. But when you don't make them meaningful, and that's what I mean about Matt Riddle, if you don't correct this, okay, he can eat that L. He's going to be fine. He's not buried like everybody likes to think everybody is when they lose. Or they're so new they can't lose. Relax, there are times where they can and they're going to be fine. But same thing with Riddle. If they continue this for 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, then you have a situation where we no longer even give a shit about them. That's the fucking issue. But you got people already giving up on Matt Riddle, just like they gave up on The Fiend the first time at Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins, as drastically bad as that was. And you got people giving up on Keith Lee because of his music. And they're giving up on Roman Reigns' heel turn because he doesn't have the right outfit or changed music. I mean, people give up on everybody like that these days. In the drop of a of a dime, the hanging of a hat, the blink of an eye, people will give up on you in this world. And I gotta think that that's not just wrestling, that's in the real world. We live in a day and age where people are just giving up on you like that. It's amazing, man. People giving up on Matt Riddle last night like nothing. BC, we know how Vince is. That's why we're giving up. Okay, that doesn't mean you jump ship from the superstar. You stay with the superstar if you're a true fan. If you're a true fan, you don't let Vince win. You stick with him. I understand you can only do it for so long. I've waited for Braun Strowman to be the monster that he should have been for so long. I've seen him turn heel and face 3 or 4 fucking times. Have 3 different pushes. 4, I think, by now, with this recent title win at WrestleMania. I mean, I've seen this guy go through it all until I finally said, you know what? That's the wall. I can't support him anymore because it's clear at this point, Braun has to stand up for himself because nothing is changing. So I understand those times, but that's maybe even years away for Riddle. You gotta stick with the guy. You gotta stick with people like The Fiend if you're a true fan. Through the bad booking and bullshit, because Vince will give you that, trust me. Plenty. He wants you in line with your wooden bowl and wooden spoon, saying, please sir, can I have some more? But you can't jump ship just because of Vince's bad booking. Over time, if it just isn't changing and you think the superstar isn't even standing up for himself anymore, or herself, then I understand. Don't jump ship so easily. If you're jumping off a Riddle ship already, if you're declaring that he's buried, then you need to check yourself, man. You really do. You gotta fucking relax and ask yourself, am I a true fan of this person? If I am, I ain't gonna jump ship. With these 4 dudes, it reached a point where I don't give a fuck about Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison. It's a shame. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with Otis in that briefcase. I really don't. Again, I like all 4 dudes. It'd be great if they were booked more properly. But when you yin-yang people for so long, for so many months, that disinterest is going to be there. Backstage, Sheamus jumps Big E and delivers white noise through a car windshield. Beautifully conducted segment and draws intrigue with the main event later in the night, which again was a fatal 4-way to set up a shot for Roman's championship at Cheesecake of Champions. Sheamus, Big E, Baron Corbin, and Matt Riddle was the original match, but Sheamus took care of Big E. A badass segment backstage, man, with Big E going through that windshield. And even before that, the bro kick into the garage door, man. Like, that was all set up backstage beautifully. That's what I mean. You're not hearing a lot of positivity about that, because that's positive. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? It's not the cool thing to do. There's people on this on these vids, man, they try to tell BC, man, I love you, man, but nah, dude, it was a bad show, man. Sorry, man, BC, you're wrong, man. It was a bad show. Okay, you're gonna tell BC it was okay. I stand corrected. Dipshit McGee tells me it was bad. I must have been mistaken. I was watching something else. You're smarter than me. No, BC, love you, buddy, but it was bad, man. Sorry, dude. Just wanted to tell you that. It was bad. Thank you. Tell you, man. Another good fucking backstage segment. Couple minutes long. Really cool. In the process, I think Big E was looking for Xavier or some shit. It was like his birthday. He had a cake, man. From fucking, who knows what, Whole Foods. So the sad thing is that cake dropped, man. That was sad. Then again, if it was from Whole Foods, probably a blessing that it dropped. That'd be pretty fucking gross. Hey, what do they have? Organic cakes? Is that even a thing? Can you have an organic cake? I don't know. What is it? Just fucking, yeah, I guess you could have fake sugar, right? Isn't stevia and all that just fake sugar? I don't fucking know. Hour number 1 ends and hour number 2 begins with a payback rematch for the women's tag titles. This is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler taking on Sasha Banks and Bayley. This was a 16-minute match, and this was so good. Great even for so many reasons for the Ant-Man. Sasha Banks and Bayley carried this match. No disrespect to Baszler, but tag matches are just not her forte. So you saw several times where she was kind of out of her element. Shayna Baszler one-on-one wow, you just see what she did in NXT. She hasn't got a chance to prove it yet in WWE's main roster, but if you saw her in NXT, you know Shayna Baszler can carry a match. Tag team, not necessarily her forte, but I'm down with her and Nia because that's just badass. I mean, them two together, you truly believe it's realistic that they can kick the shit out of any two gals. So I don't mind that at all. But Baszler was a little out of her element here. Still damn good. Baszler can turn shit into gold, so she was still good. And Nia Jax, hey, I'm just happy that she at least hung with these ladies. But when it was all said and done, it was obvious that Sasha Banks and Bayley carried this match. And, man, the performance by Sasha Banks in this match. Wow. If I'm an aspiring female wrestler, even a dude breaking into the business, Sasha Banks is literally the model you'd only hope to sculpt and kind of be in line with. Literally, Sasha Banks is the model wrestler that you kind of want to take things from. Not just the skill and talent. You watch her mannerisms. You watch the way she sells. Everything about her, there is no wasted moment or movement with Sasha Banks. It's truly fucking amazing. And I say this time after time, week after week, month after month, year after year, but it just doesn't change. She doesn't take a night off. You saw that payback when Bayley and Sasha tried everything, did everything, and they just couldn't beat Nia and Baszler, and they just looked at each other, and that look just spoke volumes. You at that point were sucked into that match, whether you liked it or not, whether you hated Sasha or loved her, and Bayley the same. You were sucked into that. You were invested in that. And the same thing happened last night when Bayley delivered that flying elbow. Cover. It failed. Bayley's like, what the fuck else do we have to do? Sasha's on the outside with her head on the rope, the top rope, like, fuck. We did it all. We did it all. What more do we got to do? Is there anything else we can do? Damn it, bro. Damn it. That is the type of shit that takes me to another level and gets me invested even more. When you can go a step above the action that's actually happening. And now we're into the story. Now we're into their emotion. Now you feel what they are feeling. And you can only imagine what their thought process is. What do we do next? Man, Sasha Banks does it every fucking time. How the fuck does one person do it every single match and not take a night off? Month after month, year after year, Sasha does it. Amazing. If I was a wrestler breaking in the business, if I was a female wrestler, but again, even dudes can take so much from Sasha because it's not just a female-male thing. It's a pro wrestler thing. You can learn so much from Sasha. I'll be here another fucking hour just praising Sasha Banks and Bayley in this match. The end of this was Nia squashing Sasha and Bayley simultaneously and pins both at the same time to retain, literally from the second rope. I don't think she was at the top, right? I think she was at the second. I don't know. She was up on the fucking ropes, Nia Jax, and she just fucking splashed Sasha and Bayley at the same time. And she stayed on them, too. I mean, squashed them. Referee counted them both. Again, you can shit on it at the end and say, oh, it's not fair. Why are two people in the ring getting pinned? Shouldn't one of them legally be on the outside? Of course, guys. And trust me, I've spoke many times about tag team rules not being instituted. FTR has taken it to another level, but then they got to AEW, and AEW does some wacky, non-rule abiding shit too in their tag team division with FTR. So that didn't change in AEW either. So trust me, it pisses me off too, guys. But this is what I mean. The whole theme of this review is knowing when there is more positive than negative and knowing when to showcase and spotlight that positive. That's the theme of this whole review. Of course there's negative. WWE has been more negative than positive for the past several years. But we have to know when to spotlight the positivity because there's more of it in a given situation. This is one of those situations where there's way more positive. The match was fucking amazing. What it was about to lead to would be fucking phenomenal. Something we've all been waiting years for. And it continues Nia Jax and Baszler, who again is a formidable fucking team. They just are. She injures Moe's girls. This is a place for her. And it's a start for Baszler. We all know Baszler deserves more. We all know she was tucked into obscurity. We heard the reports that Vince McMahon wasn't high on her, and at least she's holding a fucking championship in a formidable way now. Yes, it's just the tag strap, and yes, it's with Nia, but this is formidable. You look at Nia, you look at Baszler, and you think, fuck, if I'm a female, I don't know if I want to walk through a fucking dark alley with those two females coming at me. So I see all the positive in this. I'm not just gonna shit on everything because two people got pinned at the end of this. Post-match, it happened. Right? Post-match, what we've all been waiting years for. I mean, it seems like maybe they're listening lately. The Roman heel turn. Sasha Banks and Bayley finally doing the split. It's almost like everything we've been asking, begging, pleading for, bitching, moaning, complaining, getting amplified on for years. It's almost like they're listening. I ain't got the highest ego. I'm not saying, hey, they're listening to the amplified man finally, right? But they're listening to us. They're listening to us, man. In post-match, Bayley kicks Sasha Banks square in her mug and began a beatdown. Stomps, throwing her into the barricade, throwing her into the steel steps, put a chair around her ankle, and Sasha started to kick back with whatever fight she had left. Don't forget, Sasha had a knee injury during the match, so she couldn't even fucking stand up. Medical attention was already trying to attend to her, and she shook them all off. All she needed was her best friend Bayley, and Bayley turns on her. And she kicks off Bayley so she can't snap her ankle, but instead Bayley puts the chair around Sasha's head and neck, gets on the second rope, leaps, and instead attempts to snap Sasha's neck. Even worse than the fucking ankle injury that could have been. Looks like Sasha's written off TV. What do? You have her off TV the rest of September, October, November, December. You have her come back Royal Rumble maybe, win the Rumble, and challenge for Bayley's championship at WrestleMania. That's what I would do. But they could also go another route and do Hell in a Cell. Isn't that, I believe, in October? They could do Sasha comes back and it's Sasha Bayley Hell in a Cell, because that match would fit this type of rivalry. But is it too soon? I wouldn't want to see Sasha out of action for several months, but the story I could be down with. And if it's for the right reasons, and she comes back at the Rumble and wins it and has that fucking moment, man. But there's a lot of things you can do now with this. But Bayley's vicious attack on Sasha was just that. It was vicious. They took time with it. They let it breathe. The whole thing with the match and the post-match beatdown and loading Sasha into an ambulance and medical attention, all that was more than a half an hour. More than 1/4 of the show dedicated to this. And again, you got dipshits in the community saying, it took too long. It dragged out. It lacked the spark. What are these people talking about? That was old school classic 101 heel turn type shit. And she was already a heel. This just made Bayley even more hated. Sasha somehow is going to come out as the face in this. We thought it was going to be the other way around. Sasha would turn on Bayley. But Bayley is really finding her groove with that heel character. So I'm glad they did it this way. And Sasha has a passionate, strong fan base anyway. So in the end, WWE made the right decision here. I'll give them props. I'll give them their just due credit. This worked. Dragged on too long? Fuck you. Fuck that. This was good shit. It was good shit. Just was. Spend however long you want on this. That's what drags realism and believability. You didn't like that because it went too long? What? Did you want a couple of dudes in there doing some flips and dives? Did you want to see Kalisto and Ali do their thing for 6 minutes? Go to the fucking Olympic channel. That's a real thing. It's called the Olympic. You'll see gymnastics 20 hours out of the day, I bet. Relax. Let a story unfold that has been years in the making. Nobody's fucking satisfied. That's the theme of this review. Nobody's satisfied. A lot of good shit last night. Good shit. Nope. That's not what we do, BC. We shit on everything. BC, it's fucking horrible. Don't cave in, BC. Don't be a WWE fanboy. Me, who's been called the problem in the community because I'm ultra negative. I critique and overanalyze too much. I'm too mean. I'm the bad guy, the boogeyman in the community. But when I say something was good, BC, don't be a fanboy. And these are the people that I'm supposed to take seriously. These are the motherfuckers that I'm supposed to go, wow, called me a fanboy because I liked Sasha and Bayley's turn. This is what we go through, you know what I mean? Sometimes you, you think, wow, the community is finally gonna fucking love something as a whole. Like, you watch that and you go, wow, finally, like something we all can say, dude, that was fun. And you look at just one comment section, and you go on a dirt sheet comment section anywhere, and you just see people, the things they say, and I'm like, what the fuck? If you weren't happy with that, literally, I have to say, this is the time where you seriously have to contemplate watching something else from here on out. As hard as it is to leave something, that would be the time. I mean, if you're not satisfied with Roman's heel turn thus far, if you're not satisfied with Sasha Banks and Bayley's segment last night, and the turn heard around the world, if you're not satisfied with those things, then I don't know what you are expecting going forward, but I'm telling you right now, you're not getting it anytime soon. So this is your time to literally walk away. And I know that's loss of viewership for yours truly, but such is life, and so be it. I'm glad you came. Thanks for coming. All the best. But it's not worth it for you. And you're just dragging down an entire fucking, not just a company, an entire fucking industry. Because it's clear as day that you're searching for something that's unobtainable. That is Pro Wrestling 101. In the 80s or today, in 40 years, that is how I would like a segment to go down, a turn to go down. The realism, the believability, letting it breathe, letting it drag on. That's exactly what I ask for as a pro wrestling fan. It's what I asked for in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, now, and in 40 years. If that wasn't good to you, if you're expecting something else or that type of turn to be done in 3 minutes, dude, walk away for your own good. Not just for all of us, for your own good. Walk the fuck away. Because you're not watching for enjoyment anymore. You're not. You're not watching pro wrestling to enjoy it anymore. You're watching pro wrestling so you can think about your next fucking negative tweet. Right? Your next negative social media statement. This is stupid. This is boring. This is dragging on. This lacks spark. There's no electricity. Where's the selling? You wonder why the Amplified man just walked away from social media. Not for good, but walked away. It's because there's so many fucking idiots. There's so many fucking idiots. Not even trying to be rude or disrespectful. They're just spewing the most stupidest shit. And you almost think you're becoming just as dumb by reading it. Sasha Banks and Bayley last night, I can't even be more proud of them. I was like a fucking proud father watching them, and trust me, I'm not old enough to be their father, relax. But I was like a proud fucking father watching these two. I could not have been more proud when you know the journey that they've been on, when you've seen the ups and downs, when you've called out the bullshit in their booking. This is a pro Sasha Banks channel. I love Sasha Banks. Most people on this channel love Sasha Banks, but I was the first one every time I saw bad booking with her to call it out. Even my own Sasha fans got a little pissed at the Amplified man. BC, come on, man, go easy on her, man. No, I saw bad shit. And when I say I call things down the middle, I'm not bullshitting. I don't say that just as a cute little catchphrase. We waited a long time for this. Should it have been done at an earlier time? Absolutely. Just like the Roman heel turn. But this is what we are dealt. And as long as they do it correctly, I'm willing to give it a chance, man. And this was done more than correctly. This is everything I could have asked for in a turn. And it shocked the fuck out of me because I didn't expect it then. And they did it perfectly because we've all been expecting it basically every week for years now. So to come out of nowhere with it, wow. The opportunity, the timing of Bayley to do that to her best friend, former best friend, Sasha Banks, it caught us all off guard. You can't lie to yourself and say that it didn't. It's fucking awesome. I absolutely love that, man, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Is it Hell in a Cell? Or does Sasha come back at Royal Rumble? You gotta believe this writ her off TV for a while. I mean, with that type of fucking... She had the knee injury up front that got fucking even worse, thanks to Bayley. Then she had the neck head thing. I mean, she's gone for a while, you would have to think. And we hope she's okay. This video is being recorded really fucking early, guys. When I say really early, I mean early, man. You saw gradually as the vid went on, as the sun slowly was coming up more and more. Now it's right in my fucking face. But, I have to find out more info. Hopefully she's not actually seriously hurt, or hopefully everything's good. Maybe she just wants some time off, or maybe WWE is just doing this now. And they're telling her, we need you to stay home to sell this. But we'll see, man. I can't wait to see where it goes from here, though, because this is a long time coming. And Bayley just upped her status even more as a fucking true legit heel. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Bayley, for an awesome fucking half an hour plus last night. That was fucking awesome TV. That kept me captivated. And that's what made this a more good show than not for me, man. And that was just taking us into hour number 2. There was actually more show to go. Let me get a fucking sip of coffee first. Hold on. Alright, so this review is about to hit an hour long by the time I'm done with it, so I gotta kind of speed up the rest of this second hour because, like most of you, I got things to do, man! Sami Zayn is out next, and I'm instantly reminded how much I've missed this dude. He's so funny, so entertaining, and let's not forget, so damn good in the ring. Zayn is upset he wasn't introduced as the IC champion, so Sami takes a headset from a cameraman and starts talking to Marty, voicing his displeasure with said introduction. So he starts telling everyone, no problem, everyone relax, let's just do it all again. Sami is just fucking awesome, man. Instead, he gets Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. They hit the ring with their own beef with one another. And after some twist of fates and haluva kicks, some schmazzery between Styles, Hardy, and Zayn, it was Zayn who was standing tall at the end. Or actually, he was running away. He was probably amazed that with them three in the ring, he was the one standing tall. So Sami Zayn kind of kicked bricks. But you have to believe this is going to lead to a triple threat, maybe even at Cheesecake of Champions. Hardy, Styles, and Sami Zayn. I hate multi-man schmaz matches, but when you listen to the names I just mentioned, Zayn, Styles, Hardy, yeah, something tells me that's going to be a fucking phenomenal match, pun intended. The main event is next. Winner takes on Roman Reigns for the Universal title at Cheesecake of Champions. Matt Riddle versus Sheamus versus Baron Corbin versus Jey Uso. Again, Big E was taken out earlier in the night with white noise through a windshield by Sheamus. So Jey Uso is now in the match. It doesn't make sense, basically. It does. They clearly said in a backstage segment, Roman said that Paul Heyman orchestrated it. So it does make sense. And to be honest, there was more good on this fucking show, so I'm not going to just pick that and shit on that for 17 minutes. It's not going to happen. Because I see what this is going to evolve to. This, if done correctly, is not just going to be a nice little cousin versus cousin match. Roman is going to fuck up his cousin and up his heel ante. The prize at the end, the reward at the end, is worth the game being played. Relax! Let the shit happen! Before the match even starts, we cut to a Firefly Funhouse where Bray Wyatt says next week a new friend is coming to the Funhouse. We then cut to Alexa Bliss backstage having an exchange with Nikki Cross. And in the background, we see Ramblin' Rabbit. So one would have to believe Alexa Bliss is that friend coming to the Funhouse. The Twisted Bliss character at an amplified 10, man. I love this. I always thought Liv Morgan would fit better with Bray Wyatt the Fiend. But, hey, Alexa Bliss, I think that's an awesome new it's a new layer for The Fiend if they choose to go that route. And it's also a new layer for Alexa Bliss, right? Sometimes you get a little stale. You need something new that's really going to skyrocket you. I love that connection, man. Now back to the main event. These four dudes, again, this is Jey Uso, Baron Corbin, Sheamus, and Matt Riddle. These four dudes tried a lot of stuff in less than 10 minutes. Jey Uso pins Matt Riddle. That's right. I know, another thing everyone's crying about. And trust me, it's not the first choice for yours truly either. I would have had Baron Corbin eating this L, not Sheamus. Sheamus has ate a couple L's that he can't afford to lose another. For instance, Matt Hardy. Yeah, he came over from AEW. Jeff Hardy defeated Sheamus in that barroom brawl a month or two ago. Maybe a little more than a month. And then at, was it SummerSlam, where he just lost to Big E, or was that Payback? Either way, Sheamus is losing a bunch of high-profile matches, so he can't take this L. Baron Corbin, dude's jobber status at best. He can take any L, and we're still not going to fucking care about him any more or less than we did last week. So yeah, I wouldn't have had Riddle, but the way everyone's crying and saying he's buried and he's ruined, I mean, I see this far too often. I just wish people would stop. Stop. There is a time and place to say Matt Riddle is ruined. I assure you. If that was the start of it and it gets worse, you're going to hear about it. But Jey Uso winning, I don't care who he fucking defeated. If it was the Big Show, Kane, and Giant Gonzalez at the same time, it wouldn't make a fucking difference. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns is what McMahon wants. And it's what hopefully is going to elevate the heel character of Roman Reigns. You got Cheesecake of Champions just a few weeks away. This is no harm, no foul. It's better than pumping Riddle up for 2 fucking weeks and having him lose to Roman Reigns on the big stage. Not to mention, it doesn't do anything for Roman's fucking heat. It's just gonna make everybody go, Roman's being shoved down everyone's throat. He beat Matt Riddle too soon. That's what you're gonna get. You'll never win. Ali? I'll take 3 weeks of Ali getting pushed, man, even if he does lose to Roman. And then when it actually happens, Roman's being shoved down your throat. Ali couldn't have lost. He shouldn't have. You'll never win. With Jey Uso, you do a couple of things here. You have somebody who you know is going to lose. You ain't going to get super fucking uptight and butthurt about. And at the same time, you're going to elevate Roman's heel character because that's family, bro. You gotta look 10 steps ahead with this company sometimes. Especially if you're going to leave your opinion about everything, know what you're talking about. You cannot like something, that's fine. But to start stating shit like it's fact, come on, bro. There's a lot more positive thing that comes from this, and nobody, this is the beauty, nobody gets buried or ruined when it's all said and done at Cheesecake of Champions. Nobody. You can still build up Ali in any storyline. Matt Riddle can easily bounce back. The Fiend, not being in that position, is best for business. I don't want to see The Fiend taking an L in 3 weeks. You could do whatever you need to do with all those superstars, and none of them have to lose to Roman in a few weeks. Jey Uso is going to lose to him, but no. Everyone just wants to fucking cry. It's not right, man. It's bullshit. Yeah! Mom! Vince is pissing me off again! I made a promise to you, and I will always call out the bullshit in that fucking company in all of pro wrestling. It's what I do, man. I dissect. And I've seen more negative than positive over the last several years. So you're damn right you can call me the bad guy and the boogeyman, and I dissect it too much, and I go too far, and I'm overly negative. That's fine. But don't forget videos like these. Reviews like this. Where I am not only calling out the positive, but I am telling everybody, informing everybody that if done correctly, the future is bright, brighter than the past. But I won't get credit for these videos. Oh no, I'll still be the fucking negative guy on YouTube. He's that YouTuber that yells, and he's so mean, and he calls out just nothing but negative. He's a negative Nancy, that YouTuber. That BC negative guy. No. I speak the fucking truth. The fact that it's more negative than positive usually should tell you something. Don't blame BC, blame the company. A lot of good from last night's show. A lot of good. And again, the dipshit will be now. Basically, you're wrong, man. It was actually bad, but I still love you, dude. You just had a bad show review, BC. Okay, thank you. I'll take your words straight to fucking heart. Damn, I pulled a mulligan today. I didn't know what I was talking about. Must have been a bad show. Danny Dumbfuck said it was a bad show. He must be right. Another podcaster said it was a bad show. What was I talking about? Here I am, I thought I was talking common sense. Stupid! Right back? I tell you, sometimes I don't know what pisses me off more, or what befuddles me more, or what makes me feel more stupid. Is it Vince McMahon in that company, or is it fucking fans in the community sometimes? I don't know which is worse sometimes. How fucking just dumb the old man can be, and how dumb fans can be. Befuddles me. Some people on this very platform, who have a fucking voice, who have an audience, and the things that spew out of their mouth, I'm like, what the fuck? I can't. All right, this is but what, an hour fucking ish? We got things to do now, guys. Another coffee and a whole lot of ass whooping. This has been an hour long of amplification, man. Then you wonder why I say ain't nobody on my fucking level. Ain't nobody can go a fucking straight hour hooting, hollering, screaming, and going batshit ballistic and amplified. Nobody. There's people that may yell 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25. Ain't nobody can yell for a fucking hour and still be ready to whoop the shit out of the world today. But I can. The one, the only, amplified man. And you are the one and the only amp unit. Much love and respect. Whoop the ass of this weekend. I hope to come at you guys with an all-out review for AEW tomorrow. It's a packed Sunday for me. A lot of shit to do, man, from 3 a.m. on. So I gotta find the time if I'm going to do that. But I will be catching All Out tonight. And hopefully I can cut a review for you guys. If not, my next review, I'll at least drop my thoughts on it for sure. And my facts. Not just opinions. Remember, opinions are like fucking assholes. Everybody's got one and they're usually full of shit. Everybody, I ask you to do one thing. Always speak more facts than opinions. Nobody wants to hear your opinion. That's just the truth. We all have a level of egotistical just inklings within us. You know, whether you know it or not, it might be subconscious, but we all have a little bit of that narcissism that we believe other people want to hear our opinion. They don't. I'm telling you that. I learned that a long time ago. I used to love telling everyone my opinion. And they'd give the little nod like they gave a fucking... And over time I realized, fuck, I feel bad. Like they just wanted to get the fuck out of the conversation. As I sit there for half an hour talking about my opinion. When you speak in facts, man, that can't be contested. And people realize, oh shit. And then they might spew back more facts. And then what happens is a real, legit conversation that can go somewhere. When you have two people that are talking facts and instead of two people talking opinions, bro, it's the best conversation you can have in the world. Trust me. And as you get older and you get smarter and more mature, you start to know other smart people. You start to look out and seek after them. And you have conversations with other smart people. And it's amazing. It's amazing. When you have conversations with dumb people, yeah. Those are the headache-inducing conversations. That's it. Yeah, man. Oh, it's going to be a fun day, baby. We're rocking it out today, baby. And we just getting started. Red team. Go! Check you later.